Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today we are going to discuss about the definition and the essentials of a contract. So, let's go to the video. First one we are discussing is about the definition. Definition is under the section 2H of the Indian Contract Act. Contract is an agreement which is enforceable by the law. So by law, so in this it said that the contract is an agreement which is enforceable by the law. What is an agreement? First of all, we should know what is an agreement, right? Agreement means every promise or a set of promise forming the consideration for each other of is an agreement. So agreement means it's a promise or a set of promise. Promise, we can say that see this, I promise to sell a car, I promise to sell my house, some examples, that's all. So every promise or a set of promise forming the consideration for each other, which a promise or a set of promise which forms the consideration. Consideration means a lawful object. It should be a lawful object which is not forbidden by any law. For each others, between both the parties is an agreement. It is meant by an agreement. So it is a promise between the two parties which is containing the lawful object which does not forbidden by the law, in a very simple way. So that is what we meant by the agreement. And now it's time to know what is the contract. So you will be more clear with what is the contract. Contract is an agreement. It's an agreement, but it will be enforceable by the law. It's not just an agreement. That agreement can be enforced by the law. That is what it says. Especially for example, a contract of marriage or a contract of a valid marriage. Then the second one, like that, many contract which is enforceable by the law is the agreement which is enforced by the law is known as the contract. So we are going to discuss about the essentials of a valid contract under the section 10. And first rule to say that the contract is valid is an agreement between two parties. An agreement is the result of a proposal or an offer by one party followed by its acceptance by other. So first rule of, or one of the rules of the contract to be valid is there should be an agreement between the two parties, party 1, party 2, and between the two parties, and the agreement is the result of a proposal. Party 1, any of the person should give the proposal or an offer. So agreement is a result of a proposal or an offer, and this agreement should be accepted by the other. Then it satisfied the one of the condition of a valid contract. And the second condition for a contract to be valid is the agreement should be between the parties who are competent to the contract. So the agreement should be between two parties. As we know that the agreement is between two parties, and those parties should be competent to the contract. Competent means that person should have a capacity capacity to make the contract. Just suppose this thing that an insane person cannot make a contract. That insane person does not has the capacity to make a contract. That is what it means. And the second one, third condition is that there should be lawful consideration and lawful object in respect of the agreement. So in agreement there should be a lawful consideration and a lawful object. Lawful consideration and lawful object means that in agreement the consideration should be lawful, or the object of that agreement should be also lawful. It means that in case, just take an example that two persons, both the parties had made or get into a contract where party A, person A and A helps B to asking for the help or a contract which party A is agreeing to party B that party A will be helping B for smuggling. If they get into a contract like that, not a contract, an agreement like that, it is not a valid agreement. It will not become a valid contract. That agreement will not become a valid contract. Why? Because it is not a lawful consideration, because their object or their lawful consideration is to get into a smuggling or to take part into a smuggling, and this is not a lawful object. And since the contract or that agreement will not become a contract, since it is not a lawful matter. Then the fourth one is the free consent. There should be a free consent of both the parties. Both the parties who getting into the contract should have the free consent. It means that we should not force a person to get into the contract. We can't force a person to sell, to make a contract. Suppose this thing that a contract to sell a car for rupees 1 lakh or something like that. We can't force that owner of that car to get into the contract with us. We can't force, or we can't force that person to do so. There should be a free consent. Then the fifth one is, the agreement must not be one which has been expressly declared to be the void. The agreement should not be expressively declared to be void. It means that for that I will tell you an example, that is a minors agreement. Minors agreement means just not minor marriage of a minor. If two parties are getting into a contract, if two minors are getting into a contract of marriage, then it will not be void. Because why? It will not be a voidable contract. It will not be a valid contract. Why? Because it is expressively declared to be void. It's completely declared to be void, the marriage between the two minors. So if they even get into a agreement, it won't become a valid contract. Why? Because it has been expressively declared to be void. So I hope you understand, and thank you so much for watching this video, and please do like, share and subscribe and comment to my video, and please do watch it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and bye.